Hey everybody, Obi-Wan Jabroni here. The Fat Ninja Dedication Show. We didn't do one last year. Apologies for that. That was my fault. Um, but no, I'm here with two guests today. I think you've heard from her before. She's uh, she's the chef extraordinaire. She got through to Fat Ninja's stomach, and I forgot what that saying is. But Mrs. Ninja, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, get on to the second guest. um, making his debut, ladies and gentlemen, on this channel. He is the upcoming artist, musician. Probably gonna might be a millionaire one day. You never know. He can support Mrs. Ninja. Uh, Medium Ninja. Everybody, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it because no one's heard from Medium Ninja. I know he's got a lot to say, and obviously everybody knows Tammy's got. Oh, oops, I did it. I and everyone knows Mrs. Ninja's got a lot to say. I'll edit that out. Sorry about that. Right. I'm gonna do some housekeeping first, and then we'll get into meat and potatoes. So PK might be here. I don't know. Um, no fault of Mrs. Ninja. She contacted me late, so it's fine. But it's no problem. No harm done. No harm, no foul. And I did reach out to Pook Ninja. He did decline. He said, but he does appreciate the offer and it means a lot. But he can't be here because he's got other commitments, and that's fine. No offense taken on this side of the fence, but I did, just so it's transparent and public, I did reach out by email, and no, unfortunately, he can't be here with us tonight. Right, let's get into it. We'll start off with this is like the teacher picking on you now. You know, with the question, right? But I'm gonna start with first. I'm gonna go to Medium Ninja, and first I'm gonna ask you. And I don't know. You can take all the time you want. We're pre-recording this on the 19th of November, so you can take all the time you want. It's only you and probably I don't know how many listeners gonna listen to it. But tell us how you're doing since your father passed away, first of all, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'm doing good, but I'm also a little upset. Um, I feel that Fat Ninja is in a better place and think about him every day. And it's really hard this day. Um, but I miss him and I hope that he knows that I love him. So that's all for me.
Let me ask you another follow-up question. Are you nervous right now, being on YouTube for on this channel for the very first time?
I am not nervous.
You are not nervous. Okay, well, that answers that. Short and sweet, right, Mrs. Ninja? To the point. I like it. I like it. All right. Actually, I do have a follow-up question. If you don't mind, Mrs. Ninja, like, tell us what's up with you, like, right now, so people know, Medium Ninja. What's going on with you in your life right now? Don't get too private or personal. Just tell the listeners out there what's up with you right now, and you know,
um, well, I'm trying to keep my
I did
wonderful husband's.
I did ask
Um,
Medium Ninja. Sorry.
oh, that was medium ninja. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go
He
ahead,
thought it was
Medium.
me.
Um, what was the question again?
Oh, I just basically asked like how how's everything else going apart from father's death, and like what are you up to these days? Just don't get too personal. That's all.
Oh, lately I'm just writing music, trying to become a millionaire.
Mm.
My new album is supposed to be scheduled for January 6th, 2026. So I have that to look
Yep,
forward to and celebrate.
yep,
And
that's
I
good.
I have a shout out song for Fat Ninja It's actually the intro of the album.
Yeah, that's good. And
So,
while we're talking of music, because I should bring this up, because I was gonna do this in the intro. A few years ago, this medium-sized ninja over there, he made a diss track on me. So I just want to put that out there, okay? No one's probably gonna hear it. Maybe one day I'll put it at the end of a show one day or something. Did you have anything else to say, Medium Ninja?
no, that's all.
No? Okay, let's move over to Mrs. Ninja. How
Mhm.
have you been doing since Fat Ninja's passing?
Um, well, I will say at first, I don't believe that I probably grieved properly. Within I've had this discussion with Obi. Within the last probably 6 months, I've really learned how to grieve him. I never realized how much I could possibly miss him. Uh, it's hard to be a single parent. It really is. Medium Ninja happens to have a lot of his dad's qualities in him, which can kind of be testing at sometimes.
And
But
traits. Yeah.
he is really for the most part a well behaved. He's become much more well behaved.
Yeah.
When he was younger, when it happened, he did a lot of things and said a lot of things that he probably should not have.
We'll get into
But
that.
he's come a long way. I know that you've been speaking with him more frequently
Yes,
now, and
I can confirm that. Yes, I have been talking to him. I've been trying to help him with advice, life advice, etc., etc. And yeah, we talk every day. I can't get rid of him.
yeah, he's like a bad habit. You can't get rid of him. um, but I have made Obi his honorary godfather because
Oh wow,
I
thank
think
you, thank you,
what was that?
thank you so much. I
You
appreciate that.
well,
That
and
means a lot.
I think if Ninja was alive, he probably would have done that by now.
I am the
You guys were
Godfather.
very close. You guys
Yeah.
were really extremely close. You talked a lot. You were on the call the night that it happened with
Yes.
him. So I think that we kind of can we've kind of trauma bonded together. I mean, that's the word that we use in America a lot now. Um,
Right. Yep.
you understand the trauma that I went through losing a husband, and I understand the trauma that you went through, like losing a best friend, brother.
Yeah. I also lost my
Um,
father. So
right, right. And you lost your father, and then my father's had a lot of help. My stepdad, but he's my father. He raised me for he's been raised he's been around since I was in high school. So he's been going through some health issues, and I've been trying to help my mom and dad because they did a lot for John and excuse me, Medium Ninja.
it's
um
okay. It's all right.
they've
It's gonna
done
slip out, isn't it? They're gonna
I
slip
could
out.
call him, there's a lot of other words I can call him,
Little shit.
but I'm not going to do that on here.
No, you
um
can. No, you can swear. It's fine.
He's
I.
my
I.
he's my little medium pain in the ass. His dad was a big pain in the ass,
He was the fat pain
and
in
he's
the
my
ass.
medium pain in the ass.
Right. Right. Right.
So, but we we're very close. We talk about everything together, and sometimes it's like, oh, now I'm glad that he does talk to you, Obi, because you know,
I'm
as
gonna
a
teach you how
woman,
to
you
be
can
a
only
man. Yeah. Go
right.
ahead.
I
Yeah.
can't teach him about man things, and you've been helping him out a lot lately, and
Yes.
it's so appreciative, and I know Ninja is just looking down at us right now, Fat Ninja, and he's definitely happy. I think he he kind of left us to our own devices, and we kind of just connected, and you know it it's like we never, like, when we stop talking for a while, we talk again, and it's like we didn't never stop talking. We
The
always have
wheels
something
never
to
fell
say.
off. Yeah.
Like
It's
Medium
like
Ninja
it's.
says,
Yeah.
we're long-winded, and Fat Ninja used to say the same thing. You and Obi are so on, like, long-winded. You guys can talk and talk and talk
We can
and
talk your
like
ears off.
keep on
Yeah.
talking.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah. We can
right.
talk.
So but it's very appreciative though, because like I said, I can't raise a man by myself, you know. It's it's
Yeah.
it's hard. You know, without getting into too much information, I have dated. Um, no, I'm not married. No, I'm not, you know, I haven't moved on that far. I think it's because, you know, not that I haven't had chances. You know, it's just that I'm not ready for all that. I'm grieving Fat Ninja more than I have, like I said earlier in the past. Um, and you know, it's a process, and you know, everybody grieves differently, you know. So I'm glad I finally have started to grieve, though. That's really important because he wouldn't want me in a state, kind of a stuck state, or making rash
Right.
decisions, or you
Yeah.
know, anything like that. So it's tough at times, but I'm trying to be a better mother. I'm trying to, because you know, I kind of like for a while, and I've talked to you about this. I kind of shut down for a while. Like I just
You did.
didn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't focus on grieving him. I couldn't. I was angry. I still now, like, even I even told my mother today. I said, you know, I kind of I'm angry that he's gone. You know, I'm not saying that I could have stopped it in any way. I tried to feed him healthy foods, but as we all know, Ninja did what Ninja wanted to do.
Right.
So, um, but you know, it God is always on time and he's never late. That's just kind of the mindset I'm in kind of now. So it was it's on time. You know, it's all in his
Yeah.
timing, and I have to just be patient and do what I have to do to take care of this child until he's out of college. You know, I'm not turning my back on him. I would never do that. His dad would definitely be on the same train. He always joked with them, boy, when you turn 18, you're out the door. And but he would have never did that. He wanted to see him through college at least, you know, so that he can get his, you know, make, because even though he writes music, knows that not going to college is not a choice.
Right.
He will have some type of trade or something,
Yeah.
because you just, you know, the music industry is hard to get into.
Mm.
I do like the fact that he writes music because I think it helps him with the loss of his dad.
Yeah.
But as you all, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I mean, I know you do, but anybody that listens, Medium Ninja is the one that found Fat Ninja, and I couldn't imagine what that would be like at 14 years old, you know? I
Yeah.
so
I wanted to ask Medium Ninja about that. But it's fair to say, Mrs. Ninja, you've you've accepted it. I get you, like you've accepted. At first, it was like, yeah, there was a grieving obviously process, and you know, it was just sudden. Fat Ninja was only 48. I mentioned that early on my
right.
video this lunchtime that when I did it. Ninja was only 48 when he passed away. Um, he went before his time,
Yes,
and
well, long before his time, I feel like.
yeah, and it was just sudden for you, and there was all this. You was grieving, but you was also there was grievances. Like, you know, we won't go into those, but
Right,
there was a lot of because he just, you know, when someone just passes away suddenly, there's a lot of things that they didn't resolve. Well, let's put it
right.
that way. That's the best way I can put that.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so you are annoyed about that, and then there's the grieving side, and yeah, please, if you've got more to say,
Well,
uh,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like, I kinda had to put my grieving to the side because I had to put my big girl panties on and do what I had to do, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Um, I do, if anybody is out here listening when you know, this comes out, I say everybody should be prepared. You just don't never know when it's your time. Of
Right.
course, at 48, we didn't think that there was a lot of preparation that needed to be done at that point. We had spoke about it, you know, about different things. If he goes before me, if I go before him, you know, different things like that. But there's a lot of things that need to be in writing. They need to be, you know, resolved
Yeah.
so
The
that
the
you don't
T's
have to
need to be
leave.
crossed and the I's need to be dotted.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, we never expected him, but, he had a cold. In my mind, I feel still like it was COVID. And basically, and the coroner didn't disagree with me. Um, Basically, what he had was called a widowmaker. When you have a heart attack and you have a blood vessel break in your brain at the same time, it's
Mhm.
called a widowmaker for a reason. We see now.
Right. Yep.
Um, and I encourage everybody to, when they have a cold or anything like that, um, you go to the doctor, you make sure you take care of yourself, and he would feel the same way. Um, And I just urge anybody, because you just never know with COVID what's going to happen. We have no idea. We had a discussion about this the other day, Obi and I. We don't know what the lasting effects on people are after they've had COVID more than one time. And Ninja had it 3 times. I've had it 3 times. Now, Medium Ninja has not had it at all, ever. So, but we are like, when something, listen to your body. I'm asking everybody to do that. Listen to your body. When you feel something's not right, go to the doctor, because he actually did have a doctor's appointment that Monday after he passed away. He had a scheduled appointment that he was supposed to
Right.
go to, because they did think that he had COVID. And I still to this day don't understand why they didn't have him tested before that. Because I don't know if anybody remembers the fact that he had a very, very bad cold, and he was actually going to cancel his show that night. Um,
Right.
but
Yep.
he pushed through. He, and I think that part of him might have known he was going to go. I don't know. We never know. Things like this just happen. But he pushed through and he did his show, and he was even on the phone with Obi for hours afterward. And like I said, he just met his untimely demise that night. And it's just try to be more prepared, because we were not prepared. I mean, at all. Definitely not at all. But I feel like that's really important. That's an important message for people. It doesn't matter what age you are. We can see he was only 48 years old. Um, he would have just turned 50 this year. So
Yeah.
it's it it I'm just I listen to my body now. When I have something wrong, I'm to the doctor. Why? Because I am the only parent my child has left, and I don't want to leave for a while. I want to be here for him. I want to see grandkids and everything, all the things. But I'm thankful for my family. My family has really stepped up and been there for me. Not everybody has that, so. But yeah,
Yeah.
just be prepared and listen to your body. That's the main, out of all the lessons I've learned in this. I think those are the main ones, because you just never know. Yeah, I mean, you can go to bed one night and just not see tomorrow. And but I was, when the coroner came to the house, he did say that thankfully that by the time he hit the ground, he was already gone, so he didn't have to suffer. And I would have felt terrible about that, because, I didn't think anything of it, because he would be on the phone with you, Obi, all the time till,
Yeah.
till the
Yeah.
early morning hours here. And you were already going into the afternoon where you're at.
Yeah.
Um,
It was crazy.
so, that's the main thing I've taken from this. And the fact that, grieve on your own time. Don't have people pushing you to grieve. Um, it's really important, because if you get pushed into something, it's kind of like a child. You don't want to be told, you know, because people are like, I've had people several times ask me, "Have you grieved? Have you?" And everybody does it at first, and then it's like I had to kick into the fact that I do have a child. I have a 14-year-old boy. How am I going to take care of this boy without, you know, I don't know how to. I don't need shaving. Just the littlest things. Um, that you don't even think about because you have your spouse there that's going to teach this child this, and all of a sudden he's gone, and who does he have? I mean, he's got my family and stuff, but it's just not like asking your mom or dad. It's different.
Right.
And like I said, I'm thankful because like I said, they Obi and Medium Ninja have talked several times about several different topics that I'm glad that I don't have to hear about now. I love my son, but I can't teach him how to be a man. That's the bottom line. So,
Right. We'll move on to my kind of update thing,
okay.
and so real, I'll keep it because obviously we need to hear from Medium Ninja at some point, and he's probably sat there all irritated. So, this never gets easier. No matter what. Um, 3 years can go by, 10 years can go by, 15 years go. It's never going to get easier because there's five people who, at least five people who are known that who are close, obviously, who are close to Fat Ninja. Um, and we're never gonna move on from it. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. Um, like yesterday, the 18th, I couldn't sleep because I was talking to John, and that was sorry, Medium Ninja. I was talking to him, and that was the time that it happened too, because I was on the call with him on EVMux, and it just brings back a lot of memories. Um, but no, it doesn't get easier, and it gets harder, unfortunately. So let's move on. 'Cause
Okay.
there's not because, like I said, I really said everything that I had to say on my little video that I put out, my update video, and my kind of like little dedication there earlier. So Mrs. Ninja mentioned it before. Medium Ninja was the one that found his dad on that fateful day. Now, at this point, I do have to say, I did hang up. I didn't have, because obviously I don't have Mrs. Ninja's phone number or contact details. I didn't have them at that point. There was no need to. I did message Pook on Facebook, but at that time, obviously, people are going to be asleep at that point. So I just messaged him with something, and yeah, they found him around 3 a.m. Eastern time, which is around 8 something, about 8:15 UK time, somewhere around there. And yeah, so Medium Ninja, if he's still there, if he's not fell asleep, um, you're the one who found him. Now, explain to us how that was.
Well, that day, I woke up and I was getting ready to go ask Fat Ninja if he wanted breakfast, and I was getting ready to feed the dogs. So I walked in and to ask him what he wanted for breakfast, and then I saw him on the floor. So the main thing that went through my mind is, did he fall out of his chair while he was sleeping? Like, I didn't want to think that he had passed. So I was just like, maybe he fell asleep. But then something in my stomach was just telling me this isn't right. So I went and I told Mrs. Ninja, and um, we were both kind of shocked because I I didn't want to believe, and I still don't want to believe that he's gone. And it's just I still feel the same feeling that I felt that day. It's disappointment and just anger and sadness all mixed up in one. So I just
Yeah,
don't know how to feel.
yeah, and I should add and you can Mrs. Ninja, you can shine more light on this. One of the dogs got under the door, didn't she?
Yeah.
Cece got
Yeah.
under the door. She managed to get under the door to alert you.
Okay. Yeah, what happened is we had two dogs. One was kind of John and I, a medium ninja-sized dog. It was a Chihuahua, and we lived in a manufactured home, so the doors, like, they had like a maybe a 2.5, 3 inch under all the doors that that she could, she's never did it before, but she got on her stomach enough to push herself under the door. And I even said, because what happened is, Medium Ninja and I fell asleep watching a movie the night before, and because Fat Ninja had a hard time sleeping in the bed, so we had like a recliner, electric recliner that he would normally sleep on. And before we went to bed, I didn't think that we had let the dog in. And even when I didn't even think about it in the morning. And I'm like, okay, Cece's in here. What is Cece doing in here? And but then I thought, well, maybe Medium Ninja had went out and got something, a snack or something. Maybe I had already fell asleep. He might have went out and got a snack or whatever and came back in there. And I said, I kind of shook him. I said, can you get up and go ask your dad what he wants for breakfast? Because I always made sure every day he had a home cooked meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything. I didn't believe in that. I mean, as much as he joked about, you stole my sandwich, he didn't eat a lot of sandwiches. He ate really like home cooked food. Um, so I had told him go out there and find out, and I'm like, was Cece in here last night? And he said, I don't remember. And because she would jump up and sleep on even though the bed was really high. She was a Chihuahua, so she could get up there quick. um, and when he went out there, um, Buttercup, that was Fat Ninja's dog. Buttercup was, and she was laying next to him. And John was like, Buttercup won't move. Like, she didn't even move when he came in to talk to me. And when he came in, he was like, Mom. And he just looked like it was just pale. He looked very pale, like like the life had came out. Not life, I don't want to say that, but just like he'd been shocked by something. So I'm like, did your dad pass away? And he was like, I don't know, I think so. So I hurried up, jumped up, and I don't jump up because this body don't let me jump up. But I got in there so quickly, and then I bent down, and he was very cold. So I had him. Our people that live next door were church members at the church that Fat Ninja used to pastor at, and I had him go get the girl, and she came over. Her and her husband came over, and she was like, "No, he's gone." And she's the one that closed because his eyes were wide open when he was laying there. And she's the one that closed his eyes. She happened to work. She was a nursing assistant too, so this wasn't her first go around with this type of situation. So she knew, and I called 911, and they came. I mean, they were there quickly, and then they're like, "Yeah, he's gone. Seems like he's been gone for some hours now." And I felt really bad, but we always on the weekend. That was when we still had our foster children, and they just happened to have an overnight with their biological parents, and um, so I had to, because they were supposed to be coming home, and I didn't want them to come back home and see everything that was going on, because I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard him tell Jeremiah and them, it was Aaron and Jeremiah that we had. And I'm sure that you guys in the past have helped, because he would have to get up, I don't know how many times, to tell them be quiet when he was doing his show and stuff. So, but he was very close to, especially Jeremiah. And Aaron, he was close to too, but Aaron was more of a mama's boy. So he was closer to me. But we didn't want to have the kids have to go through that. So I had to make that phone call as well. So it was a lot of moving parts that had to happen that day. And I wasn't quite myself, of course. And I said things that I quoted things in ways I should probably not have. But it was just such a shock, you know. It just everybody, you don't expect to wait go to bed with a husband and then wake up and your husband has passed away. So, it was just it was a lot of things going on. It was a whole lot going on, and I couldn't keep straight who I had talked to. There were so many people calling me, people stopping by the house. My parents got in the car immediately, drove all the way from northern Indiana to southern Indiana to be there, um, for Medium Ninja and I. So it it was a lot. It was a whole lot, and I think to this day I go back through that night and through that day, and him and I were getting along really well. There was nothing like, at least I know that, I know that at least when he passed, we were on very good terms. Husbands and wives bicker at each other, but it was never nothing serious. I know we had our share of things in the past, but we had resolved all those, and we were we were, a normal married couple. But yeah, it was, and I automatically felt terrible for Medium Ninja because I'm like I said earlier, no 14-year-old should have to walk in and find their father like that.
Right.
Um, so, you know, he said and did things because he was a 14-year-old boy that, he probably shouldn't have said and did, but he did, and you learn from your mistakes. Um, you move on, and, holding grudges does nothing. All it does is, like we've had discussions about, you know, um, forgiveness is for ourselves sometimes, not just the other person, but for ourselves, because
Right.
of the fact that you don't want to be bitter and mad over things because, you don't, like I said, you never know when it's your time, and you don't want to have that unresolved, like, tension or anything. So I'm just glad him and I were in a great place. I mean, like I said, typical marriage bickering, him getting mad because he wanted sweets and all and everything all the time to eat, and I tried to tell him those weren't good for him, but I would go to bed and then he would eat all the ice cream, or he would eat all and I'd be like, check your sugar. He said, you're not my mom. That's what he would always tell me. And I'm like, no, but I'm your wife, and I really want you to, take this seriously because, of him having other problems before that. So, you live and you learn. And like I said, that's why I listen to my body now. If I'm not feeling right, I'm on the phone with my GP. I'm on my phone with I'm getting an appointment as soon as I can, and I'm getting in there because I have to be here for Medium Ninja. That's my, you know, main priority in life right now is making sure he gets through school. He goes on to the next schooling, may it be, like I said earlier, college or just like a trade, but he's going to have some kind of backup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Stay in school.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Stay in
Everybody out
school.
there,
Yeah.
everybody
Be
stay in
yeah.
school because nowadays we don't, with this day and age. Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't think you could hear me. I'm sorry. I thought
I can hear you.
um,
Go ahead.
in this day and age, you can't just stop at high school. You have to move on past that because there's too much going on in this world, and everybody needs some type of uh, actual job that they're gonna, you know, they've went to school to learn how to do, and it's just, yeah, and these are things that Fat Ninja and I had already discussed, because our parents never pushed college or anything. We always did because Medium Ninja has always been highly intelligent, and that's where. But I always have to remember, okay, he's smart, but he's still a child. He's still just, you know what I mean? He's still learning. Uh, at 17, do you think I had life figured out? No. Um, at my big age of 53, do you think I still have things I need to do that are different? Yes, I do. But, life is just, you learn as you go. And,
Yeah.
you can't change that. That's just how life is because life will throw you curveballs. And on that day, on November 19th of the year that he passed, that was like the biggest curveball I've ever had in my life. Because I've already went through people passing away and me watching them pass away in my home. And, that's one thing that I will always, always put Ninja up on a pedestal because of the fact that he was there to help take care of my grandparents with me. He was there when both of them died, like in the house, in the room when they died. So, even it would be funny because he would take them to doctor's appointments with me, and people would say to me all the time, "You guys, they are so blessed to have you guys because you don't know how many elderly people we have come in here, and they don't have that support system." He was really like I think I might have told you that my grandma trusted him more than he trusted me sometimes, like to help her
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So, these are all things that I could never take from him. He was very good to my family. And in turn they were really good to him too. So um he like I said, we've had our share of things that happened in our marriage that I'm not proud of, he's not proud of, but we fixed them. And that's what makes me the most happy, I think, is the fact that we were good when he passed. So I didn't have what ifs and everything going on in my mind. Um, was I ready for it? No, but I mean, at least we were on good terms, and that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
that's how I feel. So,
Yeah, I mean, there is some gaps to fill in. So, some things were said,
uh-huh,
like I quoted Pook quoted to me what you said, and you kind of ran with it too much, and Pook knows this, and
uh-huh,
that led to problems. Now, that's a good segue for Medium Ninja and Pook Ninja. Um, this is not actually public information because I only bring this up because now, to be fair, Poop Ninja's not here, but
right,
I'm sure he'll understand us talking about this.
right,
So to kind of set up the situation, you was upset about um you know me, when I told you what Pook said, and you kind of ran with it, and then you kept running with it, and obviously that got you upset,
yes,
and that's when Medium Ninja saw that you was upset about it. So Medium
yes,
Ninja at the time was in a Facebook group with us,
uh-huh,
and he started to attack Pook.
right,
um Now, at the time, as it said, Medium Ninja was 14.
hmm,
You kind of look out for your family if they're upset. Now, to be fair,
hmm,
I think people know how, if I say something that someone else said, you leave it at that. You don't let it get back to the other person. So, because that makes me kind of, that outs me then.
right,
I shouldn't have said anything, and I apologize profusely to Pook about that. And I know Pook got over that, and he hopefully moved on from it. I think he did. And
uh,
but anyway, going back to it, going back to what happened. So Medium Ninja, if he's still there, so you attacked Pook on in that Facebook group, and you said some stuff. What's your response? I should have done this in the housekeeping, to be fair,
No, you're
but
fine.
Um,
go
I
ahead.
do want to apologize to Pook Ninja. I am sorry for attacking you in that group chat, and I could have just not said anything. Mm, But at the time, I was 14, very immature, and I have matured a lot more. So I do want to say I'm sorry for the way I came at you, and yeah, I apologize, and I hope you can accept my apology.
I'm sure he will. I'm 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 pretty sure with him it's kind of water under the bridge now. I don't know if you guys are gonna have a one on one at any point. Hopefully you can, to kind of talk in real time privately. To kind of have a one on one and kind of just just settle it. But at the end of the day, I get it. Your mum was upset, and you were just kind of looking out for it. But again, from my side, though, like, to be fair, the book should stop somewhere. It has to stop somewhere. And that book should stop. Well, look, this person. Yeah, I was in the wrong for telling someone what someone else said. That I shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, hang on a minute, the book should stop. Like, there should be no reaction from it. I get it. Some people can't let it go. Um, I understand that, because there's all sorts of mental issues that you have to look at too. But um, no, we just have to clear that up, though, because that was always like a niggle. That was always like a sore thumb that always stuck out. So I'm glad you apologized to Pook. Um, yeah, hopefully it's water under the bridge, as they say. Have you got any response to that, Mrs. Ninja?
Um, well, first and foremost, like you said, John felt bad. He was uh, medium ninja John, badass, whatever we called him. you know, uh, Fat Ninja had several names he called him. Skinny Fat Ninja. Now he's more of a medium ninja because the boy can eat like his dad. Um, my only thing, and I've discussed this with you too, Obi, is he was
Yeah,
14
yeah,
and
yeah.
he just had found his dad, and I was all he had. So
Right.
that was the reason I feel like he went out of his way. Should he have done it in the manner that he did it? No, I do not agree with that. Um, he should have been, he was raised to speak to your elders properly. So do I think that he should have done it the way he did? No. But do I think that he was thinking about the way he was doing it at the time? No. Um, and I know that it there was some issue in the way that I actually told him the way that he passed, and this kind of where it started from. And I'm sorry. I'm going to say I'm sorry for the way that I came across when I said it. I was not thinking. Um, like I said, I had several people calling me that day, family members, friends. It was, you know, I don't really think I was thinking about the way I was talking. And I was not trying to disrespect my husband in any way, shape, or form. Um, I'm sorry for the way that he took it. I'm sorry for the way that I said it. Now, do I know if that would happen again if it happened? I don't know because, like I said, I wasn't in the right frame of mind. You know, it was
Mm,
a lot going on. There was a whole lot coroners coming in my house. The people from EMS coming in the house, neighbors, other people stopping and asking what's going on. And like I said, I really wasn't thinking. And I could have said it with more remorse. You know, and I am sorry for not saying it
Mm,
in a
yeah,
more
yeah,
proper way, maybe. I don't
yeah.
know what, but I don't, like I said, I don't know
Your
if I would do it
mind.
again.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. But your
Uh huh.
mind was running at 100 miles a minute
Yes.
too. So there's all that. There's all that,
Yes.
and you know, just the way it was said, and you know, Poop told me, and I told you, which shouldn't have happened again. Um, but yeah, do you have anything else to add to that? Because I'd rather not harp on that because
Yeah. I
it's just
just,
bringing up old stuff. So I just
right,
wanted to
right. I
clear it.
just have one more thing to say to Poop.
Please go ahead.
Poop,
Please.
I would never take it away from you that you and Fat Ninja had been friends for so many years. You were like a brother to him as well. So I'm sorry for the way that I may have came across that day, but again, my mind was racing. So I am sorry that I said it in a improper way, and that's the end of that.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's get into the fun bit because
Okay.
our people always look to this. We do this every year except last year, like I said. Now we've done all the and I'm glad you kind of retreaded everything because again, it's lost to time. So I want
Uh-huh.
to take this opportunity to thank you for that.
Okay. You're
Because
welcome.
it has been lost to time. The free the two shows that we did, they're no longer around. Hopefully, I can get them back as an archive, and I can put
Uh-huh.
them back. Because we were a mess that first show, as
Right.
expected. So, so I'm glad we can retread and kind of retell the story. So again, thank you so much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so let's move on to the fun bit because people love this every year. It's a tradition.
Uh-huh.
And we'll start with Medium Ninja. He's not said much. I appreciate he keeps his point short and to the point, unlike someone else. No, just kidding. No,
Oh,
no, people, no,
out
no,
of
no.
all people, out of all
People
people,
love
you
the
have
stories. Yeah, people love the stories. So, and
I know.
you know, so Medium Ninja, you got any like fun stories no one's heard? Maybe hell, if even if people have heard them, because I said to someone in the comments today, even if I hear these stories a million times about Fat Ninja, they never get old.
You're
Never
right.
get old. They don't, and I we can laugh and joke at them all day. So if you've got any story, if you want me to go to your mum first, that's fine. So you can think of some. Um, what do you want to do?
I got a few stories.
Go ahead, please. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, so first one is me and Fat Ninja were the groceries had just got delivered and there was some strawberry shortcake ice cream. And as soon as Fat Ninja heard about that, me and him were rushing to the kitchen and wrestling to get them out the freezer.
They would literally push each other like back and forth, like to get to the refrigerator first on grocery day.
Let's start
So
wrestling.
yes.
Let's start wrestling. You got any
Yeah.
more
Oh yeah.
medium? You got any more?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
When I was a baby, it's hilarious now. Um, I was coming around the corner and the first words out of my mouth were "Dad, Dad," and Dad just farted right in my face. Looking back at it, it's hilarious, but at the time we were like, "Oh my god."
I wanted to fight him. I would literally. I was like, "Don't you
You
ever
wanted,
do that to my
yeah.
baby again."
You wanted to box him. You wanted to Muhammad Ali, God rest his soul. You wanted to box him in the ring. Yeah. You got any more? You got any more
Yes.
medium ninja? Go ahead.
There's actually a video on Dad's channel, but we used to have a Winnie the Pooh stuffed animal, and
Right.
that it was like life size almost, and I
Oh
would
well.
wrestle with it as a baby, and
Yeah.
Dad would be like, "All right, 1, 2, 3, ding, ding, ding."
You play wrestling with Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
Well, because he
That's
started out trying to wrestle with Medium Ninja, and
Right.
Medium Ninja was a wee little thing back then.
As they say
So
over the,
yeah,
like they say, like over the pond, a wee little
y-
thing.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, a wee
Yeah.
little thing. And
Yeah.
so
Well,
I
you've
would
got the
be
mic. You've got the mic, Mrs. Ninja. Go ahead if you've got
no,
any.
I
But
just
yeah,
was gonna say,
respond.
I was just
Yeah, go ahead.
gonna say because he might have more stories, but I would be like, stop wrestling with him. Like he would pick him up and like flip him down on the ground. But the thing is, Medium Ninja would laugh. He would do belly laughs like out loud. He loved it. And I do have a cute little story though.
Please, please go
when
ahead.
he was first born, when he first came to us, he I was like, we put him to bed, and I telling you, Fat Ninja did not sleep that whole first night. He was checking on him, making sure he was breathing, making sure. I mean, it was so cute because, you know, becoming first time parents, you just like, okay, like I knew what to do because I had always worked with children. Plus, I have nephew that was, that I helped with, because I lived at the home when he was first born. And but it was the cutest thing. I was like, you know what? You can watch him all night, but I'm going to bed. So he was like, he's up. I think he's up. Do I need to get him a bottle? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Like he kept asking me, and I'm like, just let the boy sleep. And he was like, oh, it was almost like he wanted to get him out of the crib. You know what I mean? For just
Yeah.
find a reason to get him out of the crib.
Yeah.
But and he just the minute that he came to our door, he was like, "That's our son. That's our son. Look at his head. Look how big his head is. He's got a big head, just like you and just like me." So, because he would always joke around
Right.
when Medium Ninja would start walking, he's gonna go, "Mama," and fall over because his head is so big. So yeah, that was a cute story. But I'll let Medium Ninja take the floor again because I'm sure he's got another one.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Medium Ninja. Go ahead.
This is you gotta have an open mind for this one.
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
oh God,
Controversial time,
I'm
people.
praying. Let me say a prayer.
I've got my hand over the mute button. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so when we first got Aaron and Jeremiah, they came and of course Aaron's hair was a mess. I,
Oh,
s- I said, Dad, why does Aaron look like Annie from the movie?
Oh no.
It was so rude, but at the time, me and Dad were falling over laughing. We was like, I could see clearly now the rain is gone. We was just laughing so hard about it. And then there was a time where it was again when we first got Aaron Jeremiah. Jeremiah was holding his bottle, and I said, "Look how big his head is. He looks like ET." And Dad just started laughing so hard, and then he said, kind of like when you first came to us.
oh yeah. When
you
when
you want
Medium
to
Ninja
respond?
first came to
Go ahead.
us, when
Yeah.
no, when he first came to us, his hair, because you gotta now mind you, this child had an afro like who
Bob
is it?
Ross.
Biggie Smalls from his album, that one album.
Oh yeah, the
He had
first
all
one.
this hair, like, but it was a mess. So my goddaughter rode her bike in the winter, mind you, rode her bike to the house. I had to run out to get stuff for him because we had mostly everything, but he, like diapers and things like that. So she put him in the kitchen sink. Him and mind you, Fat Ninja was in there monitoring everything because he would not let this boy out of his sight. So he's monitoring everything that's going on with him. And he's like, "Are you sure you give him a bath in the sink like that?" So I'm like, "My mom used to do it to me when I was a kid. What are you talking about?" Like, and he was like, "I just don't remember my mom putting me in a kitchen sink to give me a bath." I said, Because you're a baby. Why would you remember that?" But he was so like every move, like but he could wrestle with him and throw him around like he was a rag doll, and that was okay. But
Yeah.
go ahead, you got the floor again.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so when I was like 3 or 4, me and Dad were watching South Park together. And probably shouldn't have been watching that with the 3 or 4 year old, but
Yeah.
it was the episode where Eric Cartman was over 1,000 pounds,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and we were just bonding watching that show. And then as I got older, we stopped watching it because he didn't want me to develop that language, which Mom already cussed like a sailor, so it wasn't nothing. But, uh, but there was so many good times with Fat Ninjas, so many to say, but
There's
I
too
just
many to
don't.
tell. There's too many to
Right.
tell. Yeah. Yeah. People love these because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Um, no one really saw that side of him too, as well. Like people knew he joked around, and I'll tell a quick story too. Like, me and him were talking privately, and me and Medium Ninja say a lot, just to fill the, so we can think what to say next. And he's like, "Yeah, I've got to edit out all Obi's on the podcast because it was a podcast back then." And yeah, he just Fatney was just he was a joker. He was just always joking around. Always, one time, another quick one was, Kate was talking to me again privately, and I was just venting as you do about the GP going, long wait. They say that's why we call patience, I guess. 'Cause you have to be patient. But yeah, I was saying, God, I wish I took something with me like a handheld gaming console. And he just came out with it, and I said something, and he goes, "It's because you're black." He just had those one liners,
Hmm.
and he was so good at
Definitely.
breaking the ice like that when you're mad. It's like you can't be mad anymore.
Right.
So there
Yeah.
was just those one liners he would come out with, publicly or privately. I think it was more privately, to be honest. But yeah. Have you got any
Yeah.
more? Have you got maybe
Yeah.
one more, one or two more?
I got 2.
Um, I was
He's
talking to
got
your
two
mom,
more.
but two more. You
Oh,
go ahead. You go ahead, Medium Ninja. Go ahead, please.
okay. So at this time, uh, Fat Ninja and Mrs. Ninja were trying to adopt a girl, and I was helping her with her spelling, and the word didn't look right to me. And so I looked over with the straightest face and said, "Hey, Dad, how do you spell stroke?" And then I was like, "Oh, Lord."
Yeah, you realized.
Yeah, and then Fat Ninja just started laughing so hard he almost fell out the chair.
Yeah, people are kind of putting the dots together now. You've got similar traits.
Yeah.
You got those one line and second story.
Okay, last one for me is uh Dad was getting ready to do his podcast, and then Jeremiah started jumping in his crib, and he saw it on the baby monitor, and he was like, "Jeremiah," just and I just started laughing so hard, and then he looked over at me and he was like, "Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "It's just the way you said it."
Yeah, to add a little bit of context to that, so we would come on an hour before showtime, just to talk, and if there was any breaking news or stories that we had to change. So we would come on an hour. We used to say an hour, half an hour. Those two are fine. I do the same thing actually, so I can check people's audio. That was a nightmare before this one, but that's a different story. But yeah, we would do that, and yeah, we would just joke around and just talk and just you know the news of the day. And yeah, he was adamant about that. He was adamant about that we come on before and not last minute sort of thing. So yeah, people should do that, to be honest. Yeah, I'll throw it over to Mrs. Ninja again. If you thought of any funny
Oh my
ones
God.
while we've
Well,
been
funny.
rambling, or
I was
sad
married
ones,
to him
or
for almost 20 years, so there's
I know I want to save one because we're gonna do an anniversary show, me and you, again
okay.
at some point. So we may have
Right.
to, I wanted to say I want to because I think you may have told it on the first one. I'll have to listen back to it, but there's that one where he was late for his wedding, but we're gonna save that. Well, he
Uh,
was kind of late, but we'll save that. Have you got any more, Mrs. Ninja?
oh God, there's so many. I don't know where to start. I'm trying to think when we first got together. I told you this the other day. I
Yeah,
remember when we went on our first date. I'm like, I was, I was telling my best friend, almost like sister, because we grew up together, and we went and she went played pool at a bar, and we just sat there and kind of were getting to know each other. And I said I have to go to the bathroom, so I went to the bathroom, and I was unaware that she promised him if he hurt me, she would gut him like a fish. And believe me, when she said that, she really meant it. She was not joking. And he said, "Well, we." She said, "Okay, I'm gonna allow you guys to be alone now. You can drop me off at another bar around the corner from us." And so, we dropped her off, and we got back in front of my house, and he was like, "Should I take her seriously?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he said that she promised that she would gut me like a fish if I did did anything to hurt you. And I said, "Oh no, that was facts. She would gut you like a fish. She definitely would." And he just looked at me like I've never encountered this type of stuff in my life. Like,
yeah,
and it was always a running joke after that because, of course she ended up in our wedding and everything. So, it was funny, but she was serious. And he was such a gentleman, very much so a gentleman. Like, and I said, "Well, when do you want to see me again?" And before I could even get the sentence out, he was like, "Tomorrow." And I'm like, "Wow, okay." And he said, "No, I
Eh,
want to take you out. I'm going to take you out to dinner." And I'm thinking, "Oh, he's going to take me out to a nice dinner." Well, he takes me to a fast food restaurant. For one, I don't eat Italian food. Don't like it. It's not my thing. But whatever. And he was like, "Are you sure you don't want anything to eat?" And I'm like, "No, I'll just take a frozen lemonade or." And he was like, "You don't like it here, do you?" And I'm like, "Mm-mm, not really." And he was like, "Wow, your honesty, you're honest." I said, "Well, isn't that what you want? You want me to be honest, right?" But it was a laugh. It was kind of oh, he took me on my first date to Fazoli's restaurant, like whoopee. But he always called me high maintenance, which I was not high maintenance. I wanted what I wanted, and I waited. I feel like we both waited so long to get married that I'm going to be honest with him. I'm from the very beginning, and I've always was honest with him, and good, bad, or ugly, I was honest. But I'm
yeah.
trying to think of something really funny, like he
I'll
got
say
ran
I'll say
over.
while you're thinking. I'll say while you're thinking that
Okay, go ahead.
going back to the fish thing,
Okay,
got you like a fish. It was probably the
uh,
first time he's ever been scared.
well, probably because he's thinking these are two crazy white women. What am I doing here? So, it was always a running joke, and they ended up being really close because they both liked like comic books and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
she always had respect for him. He had respect for her. Um, and she was honest with him from jump. And you know, I can't say he's ever done anything terrible to me. I mean, we both had grievances. And like I said, I did things in our marriage that I shouldn't have, and he did things that he shouldn't have. So, but the thing is, we were mature enough to come back together and make it right, not only for
yeah,
us, but for our
yeah,
son too. And then we went
yeah,
on to get our foster license, and we ended up fostering four kids during that time. We probably would have had Jeremiah and Aaron. Oh, I have a funny story about that because Jeremiah loved, like I said, he was more of a daddy's boy. And I always used to say to Fat Ninja, "Boy, his skin," it because Jeremiah was pale, pale white. Okay. I said, his skin's as white as you act. And so, we used to joke about that all the time. But we always had our family time together, never failed. All the boys in Fat Ninja's recliner. I would sit in there and while he was sitting at his computer or whatever, and then he would turn around to watch family stuff with us or whatever. But I always had all the boys and the two dogs sitting with me. Jeremiah sat on one arm of the chair. John was in the middle. No, Aaron was in the middle, like right between my legs. John was on the other side of the other arm. Medium Ninja was on the other arm. And then I had Cece on my shoulder and Buttercup at the top of the chair. So I had all the kids on me and the pets. And he always used to think that was just the funniest thing. But then when he would sit there, it'd be the same way. So, you know, but
That's great.
we made sure we made time for each other and do our family
Yeah.
things together. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I told this story before. I can't remember. You might have to bring this to my attention if I did. But a few days before we got married, he got ran over at work with a tow motor on his foot.
Oh no.
Yeah. And he calls me and he was like, babe. And I'm like, oh gosh. When he starts out,
What
babe,
happened? You
I
already
already knew it was
know.
something. Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm at the urgent care. They had to bring me here from work because I got ran over by a tow motor. Now mind you, we're getting married, big, big, huge Catholic wedding. Um, Probably 400 people at our reception, almost 400 people at the church. Mostly everybody yeah. So it was about 400 at the church, 400 at the reception. And he literally, I was so angry with him because, first of all, he couldn't wear the regular shoes um
Right.
to the wedding or reception because of his foot being uncomfortable or whatever. So he had a pair of black tennis shoes, and we're like, okay, those are not in bad shape. You can wear those. But my mom had went out and bought him black socks to wear with it because who wears a tuxedo with white socks and black shoes? Who wears
Michael
that? Let me
Jackson.
tell you. Let me
Michael
tell you
Jackson.
exactly who wears that. That's Fat Ninja. That's who wears that. My mom bought him the black socks, and he comes, and I looked down during our wedding, and I looked down, and I looked back up at him real fast because I didn't want anybody to notice that I was ready to take his head off in the church. Um,
Yeah.
so I looked at him, I looked down, I looked back up at him, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. So when
He
we
goes,
got back down the aisle after the
yeah.
wedding, he was
He's
like,
thinking, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
he's already like, oh, here goes our first fight on our wedding day. But he was like, I'm sorry, I had to wear the white ones. I forgot where the black ones were. I said, well, they were on the bed, right where I put your tuxedo. So, yeah. And I said, you just didn't want to wear them, did you? He was like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, oh God. But, whatever. And let me tell you something. He didn't let that toenail mess him up at the wedding reception because he danced with me. I mean, like, he was not a dancer. He did not like to dance, but he danced almost every single song with me. He took it like a trooper. Um, and by the end of the night, of course, because he was on Vicodin for the pain, so he was loopy. And at the end of the night, um, we're in the other because we had the bar room and the hall part. They shut down everything for us because it's a Polish Falcons where we had a reception, which that's my family belongs to that. My dad was president and everything of the club. And we go over to the bar room and everybody's trying to talk to us. And he was like, well, we got to go. We about to consummate this marriage. And he talked like Bernie Mac when he said it, though. I can't talk like Bernie Mac. So, but he said it just like Bernie Mac. And like, it was hilarious because um, the Gut You Like a Fish girl, my best friend, she was like, y'all about to go home and consummate. And so it just went on. It was like a joke for like a half an hour. And he was like, no, but for real, we got to go home and consummate this marriage. So, but it was a lot of fun. Our reception was, and I don't think he's ever even seen a wedding. That actually, let me rephrase that. He had never been to a wedding in his whole life. That was his wedding was the first wedding he'd ever been to.
Wow.
So it had to be he probably was glad he was on Vicodin because it made his, the inhibitions and being nervous and all that stuff, it kind of,
Yeah.
oh, and he was also late to the church because he was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe it was, the season finale of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
great.
he was a little late to the church. um
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but that, it was all in fun. He was fine. He thought and the first thing he said to me when I walked down the aisle, he said, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life." And it was like, oh, so that kind of took away from the whole sock thing too. So,
Yeah.
but it was all in fun. It was, it didn't stop him from, being out there dancing and everything that he had to do that whole night. And he had a ball, I had a ball. Um, and we had a beautiful wedding. So, you know, you have any more
Hmm?
Have got any? Have you
medium?
got anything else? Because
Do
we've
you have
been
anything
going
else
for an
medium ninja?
hour. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been going for an hour and 11 minutes.
Wow.
I have
So it
something.
feels like
Oh,
longer. I know it feels like, yeah, but yeah,
it does.
medium. Yeah, medium ninja. Go ahead. You've got any?
This
If you've got
is
anything
this.
else?
I wasn't there to witness this, but I find it hilarious. When Mom and Fat Ninja were on a date, he had ate pizza and grape soda, and he burped directly in her face, and it is hilarious. She smelled everything.
It was disgusting. It was. He used to do that type of stuff to me all the time because let me tell you something about him. You know how normal people get the 20-ounce bottles or the 16-ounce bottles? Mm-mm, not
Yeah.
him. It's a whole 2 liter. And
Oh
he will
wow.
suck that thing. And then he wondered why he had sugar. Well,
Mm,
here we have
there
it.
you go.
you
There you
know,
go. There's no sugar tax over there like they do over here to
ma-
regulate the sugar here.
yeah, they needed to regulate it when he was alive because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that probably would have helped him. But like he said, always used to tell me, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die happy. So there you have it.
Yeah. He was one of a kind. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. And I'm glad you Poop Ninja, Medium Ninja, and Lady Ninja are the best people to tell these stories because you guys know him IRL. So, and I'm sure, real quick, I'm sure because I wanted to chime in, but I didn't want to interrupt anybody. But
Okay.
I'll say, and I know they won't mind me saying this, but going back to that whole fish gutting a fish, I know I keep going back to that, but
Mhm.
it kind of that story reminds me of Poop Ninja and Lady Ninja's thing, where they met and got before they got together, and they were in the car and stuff. They were dropping Lady Ninja back home, and Poop Ninja walked to the door, and like Fat Ninja heard Lady Ninja say, "No, you're calling me tonight." So and that made him crack up. So I hope they don't mind me telling that little quick story.
Yeah, he told
Um,
me that story several times too. I remember that.
yeah. So
And it
it
kind of
kind of
reminds
reminds me
me,
of that, like your
yeah,
friend.
yeah, that she said that. And then I asked him when he wanted to see me again. He was like, tomorrow, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I remember when we first also got together before
yeah.
we even met in real life. He We would fall asleep on the phone talking to each other
Yeah, because you met
because he did
online. I
not.
don't think. Yeah, people. You met online as well. That was in the anniversary show.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the rare occasion it works online, so it can work online. The rare occasion. So yeah, please go ahead.
Oh no, Medium Ninja had something to say.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the topic, and Mrs. Ninja is gonna tell the story about when she fell under the car.
Oh,
So I'm gonna let her tell that story.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It was our first Valentine's Day together. We were already engaged. Um, but we were going to go out. We had plans to go out with another friend and her fiance at the time. We had plans to go out with them for dinner. Well, um, I it was snowing outside and I probably should have had a better shoe choice, but I was trying to be cute. So I had heels on and I'm walking out to the car. He's cleaning the car off because we took my truck instead of his car. So, because it was higher up and it had four-wheel drive and stuff. And he's cleaning it off, and I'm walking out, and he sees me, and he's talking to me, and all of a sudden he didn't see me anymore. And he's like, "Baby, baby." And I'm getting up off the ground. I was under the car, halfway under the car, halfway on the grass between the curb and the car and the sidewalk. And he was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fucking fantabulous." And he said, "Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were okay." And he just started cracking up. And I'm like, "Okay." So we had to end up canceling with them because my ankle ended up being swelled up.
Oh
And
no.
so we just
Oh.
went and got some gyros and went back to the house. So it ended up being a nice, quiet evening. But yeah, I was like, "I'm fucking fantabulous." And he just waited for me to get all the way back up. He was like, "Let me help you." I said, "I've got it." And I'm dusting snow off myself. And the funny thing about those shoes is those were the shoes that I wore for our rehearsal dinner. Thank God it wasn't snowing that night because we did get married in February. So, but it
Oh.
wasn't snowing that February. So I was fine with them. But yeah. So yeah, John,
Yeah.
Medium Ninja just thinks that story is hilarious,
It
Yeah.
is.
just like his dad did.
Yeah, I hope others find that the stories and they enjoyed the stories. We're gonna
He
kind
made
of
sure I
wind.
was okay first.
Yeah, that's good. At least he had a conscience or has a
Yeah,
conscience.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we're gonna get it ready to shut down because usually I like an hour, around 15 or an hour and a half, depending on how it's going and where the conversation's going.
Uh huh.
But um, yeah, unless you two got anything else to say to to kind of close out. Any final words for Fat Ninja?
Okay.
We'll let Medium Ninja go first.
Okay, so uh, wow, I just don't know what to say. I had
Don't know. It's
something to
fine.
say and then I lost
Take
it.
it. Okay.
But
We'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. So,
Okay.
Mrs. Ninja, you've got any kind of like departing words for the
Yeah.
listeners or Fat Ninja or anything?
I'm going to take a little spin off of what he used to say, but I'm going to ask you all to do this. Everybody that's ever had the honor of knowing my husband, I ask you to light a candle and eat a sandwich. That's it.
That's for the yeah. That's for the community. Anything for Fat Ninja because you know he's listening.
Just keep my family up in prayer at all times because he's not here to help us. So yeah, I just asked you guys to do that because I know he used to say, "I'm gonna steal your set." What did how did it go? Medium Ninja.
When you least expected it,
Yeah,
I just stole your sandwich, and
yeah.
Pook would do the out, but
So just in honor of him, I ask that you light a candle and eat a sandwich.
yeah. leave half for Fat Ninja. Leave one out for Medium Ninja. Have you got anything to say to the listeners and your dad, Fat Ninja?
Yeah, so to Dad, I want to say love you and I miss you. And it's a shame you're not here. But I'm sure they have a heavenly radio and he can listen to my album there. uh, they might have to do the radio version, but that's okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just miss him and I hope he's in a better place. And so yeah, that's all for me. And to the viewers, um, thank you for listening to me run my mouth, of course. Um, but just keep a lookout for my album, Toxic Love, and that's all for me.
Right. So I should have phrased it better, like as well. If you've got any thank yous too. Have you got any thank yous to anybody, Mrs. Ninja? If you want to say
I
thank you
just
to anyone,
I just want to thank the whole community, especially you, Obi, um, for keeping Fat Ninja's memory alive.
thank you.
I'm sure he's one of those people that you meet, even if it's not real life, you meet him, and he's got a big presence, and he was an amazing guy. He definitely took care of his family. Um, but I really appreciate everybody that has kept his memory alive. And I know, after some people, it to me it never gets easy, because, of course, because of my husband. To you, it doesn't get easy because you were there that night.
Yeah.
Um, so just I'm thankful to the whole community that ever was on panels with him, just listen to him in general. Uh, Thank you, because without you, there wouldn't have been a Fat Ninja either. So I'm thankful. And to Pook, you know, you've been there for him. You knew him before I knew him. So I'm sure you have wonderful stories that you're honoring him in your own way. I'm sure. I'm positive of that. I don't have a doubt in my mind. Um, but I'm thanking the whole community that made Fat Ninja who he was. And that's it. Hello?
Mhm.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, he left.
He's gone.
Yeah. Do we leave?
I don't know what happened.
Sorry about that. My internet went out. Is there? Are you still here? Hello. Oh god.
Fat Ninja.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet went out.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I can't believe
That's
that
okay.
happened. Yeah, I'll have to edit. I'll have to. This is what was good about doing a pre-record.
Right.
Uh, it's still going. The recording, great. That's good. Well, the recording's still going. So, um,
Yeah, I saw the number, the timer is still going.
yeah, yeah, and it will. I'll carry on where I cut off. So I was doing
Okay.
my. So
Okay.
3, 2, 1. So we can't end the show without thanking the co-host of Fat Ninja Game Talk Radio version
Right.
1 and 2. Um, so I'll go through them real quick. Obviously, Poop Ninja, part of the show and everything. Um, like you say, got remembering his own way, got his own memories and stuff, and yeah, and even me and him did shows um together as well. So you know, so there's Poop, and then obviously Riv was on the show. He was the spicy one on the show. Can't
Mhm.
forget him. Community is never gonna probably forget him. How can you? And then
Right.
there was my UK brethren, PK, uh, fellow Northwesterner. Um, so there was that, and there is one more person who will probably never hear this, but Adam Pearson is another one I want to thank, because without him, when they went away from Blog Talk, and Adam Pearson funded Fat Ninja to have their own network. So I just want to thank him. Um, and lastly, I want to just thank the community. I don't want to thank individual people, because um, I will leave people out, and that's not fair. So
Right.
to the community, I want to thank everybody in there. Again, people who made videos year one when it happened in 22. You
Mhm.
know, there's that, and I'll never forget that, because it was a big deal that people did that, and people always came out as well to the shows and everything. I'd see all the same names and stuff. So yeah, I just want to thank the community. As for Fat Ninja, we the people who know him on a like a private or personal level, we will never forget. We'll never forget. I will try and keep this going as long as I can. Um, I just want people to know that I don't want these things to ever stop. Even if it's me just doing it by myself, I don't wanna I don't wanna stop. Because his memory should be remembered. And there's people out there probably thinking, well, it's been 3 years now. You should probably thinking about moving on. No, Fat Ninja was, is a brother to me. It will just can't end, unless
Right.
unless something happens. I'll do the podcasting from hospital if I have to, or show, or whatever you want to call it, right? So no, it's difficult. It's difficult, especially when you have to end the show, and it's that outro is pretty. It's emotional. That outro is emotional, but we will we will never forget, Fat Ninja. We love you, and lastly, I do want to thank Fat Ninja for being there. I wish he would have reached out sooner, but hey, harm, no foul, as they say. He was going
Mhm.
through stuff. I wish he reached out sooner to do the show, but I enjoyed the time that I had. I will cherish that forever. So with that being said, we'll quickly jump into any plugs or shout outs. I've got a feeling, Mrs. Ninja, I know who you're gonna shout out. I think so. But please go ahead with plugs or shout outs.
I'm gonna. I want to shout out Poop Ninja and Lady Ninja, um, PK, Riv, um, and most of all you,
Yeah.
because, like I said, you were there till the very, very end, his last breath. So,
Thanks for that. Have you got any plugs? Do you wanna plug
um,
anything, or
well,
if you're on
I'm
social
gonna,
media?
I'm, Opie's gonna try to help me out. I'm gonna start. I'm not sure about names or anything, but we will be doing the Fat Ninja sandwich. Medium Ninja and I are going to be doing food blogs. And what better way to start it to show you the sandwich that we always made for Fat Ninja. So it'll
Okay,
be coming
so
next year.
my prediction was wrong. I thought you might have gave FNF a shout out.
Who? Who was that?
FNF, FNF. You know
Oh,
who I mean? Yeah,
yeah. Let me shout out my girl because she's convinced. She, feminine and fierce. Check her out. It's I kind of got Obi like intrigued because yeah,
I've been
we
around
she does
locals. Yeah,
she yes we we watch this tragic train wreck go on almost every night with feminine and fierce. But I want to shout her out because she's helping giving me the courage to actually start my own thing. But yeah, feminine and fierce, check her out. She's on YouTube. She comes on almost every night. She also has a true crime show that comes on Tuesdays before her actual malarkey show. Yeah, I've learned the lingo from my friend Obi here, the locale, um, the terminology, the different terminology he's been teaching me. So check her out. She's if you like watching a train wreck, then you'll like her recaps.
yeah.
She
Uh,
definitely does. Yeah,
I'll say
it's
real quick.
uh
The local they talking about is someone called
is
Maybay Life. Maybay
maybe
Life
like
is the
yes.
person they cover. That I honestly thought that you would shout her out first, but I guess I was wrong.
Well,
Um,
I was going to. I thought about that, but then I was like, should I
yeah, you
really
don't want
mix
to.
it
Yeah, you
up?
don't want to bring it on. No, it's fine. You can shout anything out that you're, that you want,
Right.
that you
But
want
yeah,
to. It's
feminine
yeah,
fierce, check her out. Like men, women, your wives that don't may not like video gaming and different things like that you like, she might like to watch feminine and fierce. It's
and
like a
yeah,
soap opera
yeah.
almost.
And to be honest, we all
Um
need it. We all need a distraction. So
yes,
yeah,
and I will say feminine and fierce has really, really given me an outlet. I really wish because you don't know how many times Ninja has said, you need to get on YouTube. You need to find some. And she was actually doing content back then. She's been doing it for about 10 years. So I probably should have, I might have found her sooner. But see, I, I basically found her by watching Maybe Life because I didn't want to subscribe to her because of the fact that I didn't agree with her, her lifestyle or anything like that. But then I found that Feminine and Fierce was doing shows about her, doing the recaps of her shows and everything like that. So that's how I stumbled across her. I mean, that happens a lot, I hear on the internet. You stumble across certain people and you just end up becoming part of their community. And I become a big part of her community. It's been about a year and a half I've been listening to her, and she will never. She likes to please her members. She likes to please her, even just her subs. Like you don't even have to have a membership or whatever. She likes to please everybody when it comes to the Maybe malarkey.
yeah. And
So
I can
yeah,
confirm. Yep, she read two of my comments out in the chat room when I was kind of
yes,
doing all my research. Because to be honest, DSP for me, the lolcow that I kind of keep tabs on or follow, it's kind of getting boring for me. So I kind of need another outlet. So it was good
right,
kind of discussing other, because let's be honest, like most of our conversation about Fat Ninja, but it's always nice to kind of talk about other things too and
right.
get you have your mind occupied or distracted. Have you got anything else, or was FNF the last one?
What was that?
Shout
I couldn't
outs.
hear the last part. I'm sorry.
Have you
But
got
yeah,
anything
no,
else?
she just check her
Is
out. Check out
yeah.
Feminine and Fierce. And you'll see the maybe. I mean, like I told Obi, I said you're going to. She's She's a piece of work. He got to
Yeah.
see with his own two eyes.
Yeah,
She is a
and you
piece
pick this
of
stuff up
work.
quick. I picked this stuff up quick too. So,
Right, right. And
is
she did
feminine?
shout you
Oh
out.
yeah,
She shouted you out like the first, and I was like, wait a minute, it took me weeks before she did that.
she
But
must.
he made a very funny,
It's
cheeky comment about the royal
the
family.
royal. Yeah, I said something about the royal family. Is that it? Is
Yep, that's it
you don't
for me. I
okay?
really don't. I mean, Tibby, she right now she kind of got her page taken again from the enemies, the Maybe malarkey. But she's working on a new page. Also Blicky and Purple. Um, Virtual Vibes is Miranda. So yeah, we've kind of got our own like group of people that talk about the same kind of thing, but they change it up at times too. So
Mm,
Feminine Fierce is like the head, and then the rest of them followed. So
yeah, this is
any of those,
normal.
you need to check them
Yeah,
out.
this is normal in this type of communities.
Right.
You're known as the trolls or the detractors. So,
Hmm.
Medium Ninja, have you got any plugs or shout outs?
Yes, there's of course SS Sniper Wolf. She's a reacting YouTuber. She's very funny. And there's Corey X Kenshin. He's a gamer. And yeah. And there's back to like my channel, so it's easier to find me. It's Wilson and then the number 4 and ever, all one word.
Check out the upcoming artists, ladies and gentlemen. Um, for me, I'll just one plug is if if anyone wants to get hold of me, the best place is on X. Is Obi-Wan Jabroni. I'll spell it because it just you always have people that's in the background, just the audio. So it's ObiWanJabrone. And that I don't have anything else other to say. Uh, my friends and family in the USA, Thanksgiving. I hope everybody stateside and hell, if you're an American living in the UK, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Hope it all goes well. Be thankful, be humble, and Fat Ninja, we will always love you. Remember that. We will never forget. And with that
And don't
said, I'll play. Oh,
I have
go
one
ahead.
more thing to say. Medium Ninja will eat enough for Fat Ninja and himself that day.
He'll eat for the both of you.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Well, with that, anyone got anything else?
Nope,
I'm
that's it.
all right.
For
Let's
me.
take it home.
Okay.
Monkeys in the truck. Play the outro. Here we go. Take care, everybody.